Hey guys, you are here for the June edition of the HOA Garden Tour series. So first, welcome. But before we get into that, let's just take a look back at 1 month ago because it's crazy different in there now. It's a 40 by 40 garden and I have 8 raised beds behind me, 4 in-ground beds that wrap around the garden. So let me just give you a 360 tour of the garden the 1st of June. It is crazy different. Oh my gosh, the amount of growth just to look back and see it now is amazing. But I'm going to take you guys around and show you what's growing in all the beds today. One thing I failed to mention in my May update, actually I don't even know if we had done it yet, but I transplanted rhubarb from the orchard and the food forest area, and I transplanted 7. And I thought I got 4 and ended up I got all 7. They all came back good. So all down the fence row. I'm not harvesting anything off of them this year. I'm just going to let them get set and their roots established. But it's going to be gorgeous having this in the garden now. But let's head to our east bed and I'll show you how things are growing. So everything's going really, really well. Other than battling flea beetles on my potato garden. I just recently got out here and did a lettuce harvest, so that's really cut back right now. And I have 1 Cherokee purple tomato planted here at the end of the bed and a Cherokee purple down there. But since my last garden tour, something new is in this bed. I'm excited to share it with you. We have sweet potatoes now and cucumbers all in this bed. That's way crazy different. This bed's going to explode the next time you see it. I can't wait to share the progress with you. Now I did worry about planting my sweet potatoes not in a roothed out bed. I talked about that in Instagram and YouTube. In previous videos, I came out here and really amended this bed so I could feel more comfortable. I'm not worried anymore and we should have a great harvest. This Cherokee purple tomato is looking great. It's got the first blossoms on it. And guys, I am still finding cabbage moth caterpillars in my Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts are doing good. They're handling the pressure okay. But every day I'm just out here checking them and pulling off what I need to pull off. But look at that, my trellis has my peas climbing up it. Well, I'm trying anyway to train them to it so that they climb up, not on each other. But sweet peas around here, Brussels sprouts around here, and now we'll head down our east wall and I'll tell you how things are going in there. So we have our bush beans down this way. They're looking great. No flower heads yet, but it won't be long. Well, I take that back. Maybe there's just the start of some. Tomatoes down the center. I started coming out here over the last week, staking those up. And some of them are growing well, some of them aren't. It could be that they're just the different varieties. Guys, look! I'm gonna pull one, okay? I grew a beet! I'm so excited. Now I'm gonna leave the others, but guys, this whole bean row was beets that I lost to that polar vortex. Just imagine if I hadn't lost them. So we'll eat these beet greens and this beet will just be for fun and example. And then I have all my peas. I haven't found a pea yet, but they are flowering like crazy. So not long and I will have peas to harvest. I am having to watch them because of the high intensity planting and just make sure that they're not grabbing a hold of the tomatoes. These were a dwarf variety Tom Thumb pea and they're only supposed to get like 12 to 18 inches tall. As you can see, he didn't get the memo or he's just trying to be a show off. So pea harvest coming soon, so stay tuned for that. So I'm back here at the vertical gardening space and let's show you what we've got going on in here. So the green beans are starting to really come up. They're grabbing a hold on the other side and starting to climb. But I came out here and I planted 2 Hubbard squash. So I'm gonna grow these up on the trellis as well. And then just yesterday I got out here and I planted 6 melons. Honey Rock and what's the other one? Honeydew. So hopefully this whole area will fill in with melon vines. Now we're at the west wall and I am going to, for the first time this year, be growing my zucchini vertically. I'm still researching it so I exactly know what to do, but they're not quite tall enough yet for me to attach, but I've got the T-post here, so when they're ready, I'm ready. And then down this way, I've got my 23 tomato plants. They are growing great. I had a struggle early in the spring with a phosphorus deficiency. I added a bunch of bone meal that seems to have corrected itself. And I'm just now starting to baby them and tie them up. I'm keeping them single stem pruned for the most part. Here's a sucker right here I've actually got to pull off. So just pulling the little suckers out of the crotches. And I have some exciting news on the garlic though. Let's go take a look. Looky, are you ready? Looky what we have here. Our first scapes are coming on. So I will have to be getting out here. Ooh, it's such a fun process to pull the scapes. Oh, and they are delicious. Absolutely delicious. So I'll be coming through here as they come up. You wait till they turn down like this. So this one's not grown up enough. It needs to come up and curl down, get goosenecked, and then I'll pull them. And we will cook these up and make something yummy. So it won't be long and we will be harvesting garlic here. And I grew a whole bunch of new varieties last year that a friend gifted us. So I can't wait to see how they turn out. I have been concerned because they're growing in a very damp area in the back section of my garden. So I'm kind of worried whether we're gonna get good garlics or if they'll be mushy or not. But now let's head down the north wall. And we've already done our first crop rotation in there. So I'm gonna share you what we rotated. Share with you. So nothing back here's changed a ton. Obviously the kale's growing beautifully. My cilantro up front looks gorgeous. I actually need to do a harvest on that. I do have 2 pumpkins planted back here. What variety is it? Oh, they're Blue Hubbards again. And my broccoli's doing fine as long as pests stop eating it. And I transplanted a collard green in here just to fill out this area. Now down this bed, if you remember, I had spinach down the center. Just yesterday I got out and I planted it all with beets. So that's our first rotation in here. I've been harvesting the broccoli leaves. It's almost time for me to get out here and do another harvest on those. And our cabbages are doing good. They are, I'm fighting 2 or 3 times a day out here, keeping caterpillars off of them, slugs off of them. So I have a couple videos that I've put out on organic pest control if you're interested in that. And then looky here, we have our first sunflowers popping up. So I did plant a few sunflowers through the center bed. So it's turning out to be a really pretty space. I think I have a couple lessons learned from spending so much time in my garden this year that I've never spent before. And that is, I wish I would have put this bed on my south wall because it stays a little bit more shaded. And I think my beans would have liked the amount of sun this bed gets instead of that one. So I just need to put that in my garden journal and remember that for next year. So I've worked at getting good, beneficial insects and critters living in my garden. For a couple years, every time I would find a frog in the yard, I'd move them in the garden. I've even gone and caught snakes in the backfield and brought them to my garden, and it's finally paying off. I don't know if it's me or they're just finally learning where my garden is. So I moved a couple of my frog houses to my cabbage beds where I'm having issues with the moths and the caterpillars and the slugs to just encourage them to stay here. I don't need them anywhere else. I need them right here. So maybe they'll live here. This collard's doing really good over here. I only had a couple do great, and that one's doing amazing. But as I go through here every single time, I'm just looking for the bugs and making sure there's nothing new. So I'm sitting at this raised bed because it's the only one that's different from all 6 of my raised beds that I have. Actually, I have 8, but 2 of them are dedicated to strawberries, which I'll take you guys over there and show you that in a minute. But this one is peppers and onions. The rest of them are carrots and onions. And my peppers are doing amazing. I've got the first flower heads on them. If you guys didn't catch my top 4 tips to growing great big onions, that's a great video if you're struggling to grow onions like I was. And in that video, I topped all my carrots down. As you can see, they are already growing back amazingly. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to an amazing onion and carrot harvest this year. So my flower beds are doing great. This is echinacea, and it's got its first little flower head on it. The borage is coming up beautifully. I think this is chamomile, but somebody told me maybe it's pineapple weed. Regardless, I'm leaving it because I planted chamomile, and pineapple weed I can use similarly. My sage is about to bloom, which I'm totally letting it do that so the bees can take advantage of it, and I can still harvest the sage leaves. These are all my beautiful poppies, and they're about to open up. And look, I got my first daisy. Isn't that sweet? But let's head over to the strawberry beds. Oh, but look, check it out, Todd. Our first borage head is on, and it's about to blossom. And guys, if you're not growing borage in your garden, you are missing out on bringing all the pollinators to your garden. They love borage. You know what that means. Strawberry season is just about upon us. So let's just take it and let's see how it is. You know, we got to do our first taste test. Sweet as sweet can be. But I'm in here and I'm seeing that my strawberries are also getting ate up. So I'm probably gonna come out here and dust those. We've got quite a few little red strawberries going on in there. So it's time to start checking the strawberries daily. And then we will be having some great how we're preserving our strawberries this season videos for you guys. And it should be a great strawberry year. So I forgot, I was looking, did I talk about everything? I have 3 beautiful pumpkins growing back here. I forget what variety they are. I think they're maybe the Cinderella pumpkins. And I'm just gonna trail those up the corner here and down the pathways. And they're just gonna be beautiful. Every year I do struggle with squash vine borers that kill my squash, but I'm gonna do my best this year to try to avoid that. So thanks guys for coming along on our complete garden tour series brought to you by the Homesteaders of America. They're a great organization, so if you go to check out homesteadersofamerica.com, tons of great resources for you if you're interested in some food security and learning how to grow your own food. And we're going to be doing these throughout the summer. So if you're not subscribed to our channel, we would truly love to have you here. Click that like button and feel free to share our videos with your friends and family. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later.